Hey everybody, today we are bringing you something juicy again. It is Boros Steelcutter Energy. Tries to maximize the value of Steelcutter and Ocelot Pride by making it so we get to copy the token running Moxoper because it's just a busted magic card. We have to run some suboptimal cards to support that because we run Portable Hole instead of Static Prison, and we also run Esper Sentinel. Actually, that's not too bad because we do lower our curve and make it so we have explosive hand with multiple 1-drops almost all the time. And we have Unstable Amulet as our card advantage tool because it's another artifact to use with Moxopal. And also we just keep it lean and stay a bit more low to the ground. I'm also working on a Jeskai build of this. This one right here is almost exactly copied from an Aspiring Spike build, but I've been working on a Jeskai build that's similar to this that I will definitely show you soon, probably after the rules change it, because I want to fit Urza's Saga into this deck somehow and replace Unstable Amulet with Expressive Iteration. And once we have the rules change, this deck can play Urza's Saga and Blood Moon together, so I think this will actually be a really good home for this. Let's also have a quick look at our sideboard. We do have 2 Draenei's Magistrates against some combo decks like Storm. We do have 3 Sanctifier decks against other red decks, for example normal Boros and also Prowess. Blood Moon against Amulett Titan and Molten Rain as well against Amulett Titan, Eldrazi. And 1 Emrakul because we have played against Mill in the last league, so I will definitely dedicate the slot to it. And Pithing Needle against various decks, for example like Mono U Belcher. Let's just hop right into the games and let's see how it does. Match number 1, playing Boros aggro Mox Energy. We're on the play, and this hand looks pretty decent. We do have the potential to play Steelcutter turn 1, which would be absolutely nuts. I won't do that, and I will also... Will I do something more? I think I will just play the Esper Sentinel and keep everything else back, so our opponent does not know what we're up to yet. We could in theory just play a land, play both Baubles, play our Mox, and play Steelcutter turn 1. Would be absolutely crazy, but it would be difficult to trigger it immediately because we would have to crack our Mishra's Bauble to draw some cards to be able to have more spells in hand. Let's just run out the Sentinel. Especially on the play, it's really annoying to deal with. And turn 2, we will just Steelcutter into Bauble and start pumping out tokens. Opponent also kept a 7 in hand. We run out Esper Sentinel and pass it to our opponent. Opponent probably plays Mono U Belcher, so we run out our Steelcutter, we play a Bauble, we make a token, we use the ability. Let's just look at what our opponent got. The opponent has a Char Belcher on top, sure. Will not play any of these to make another token next turn and to have more Prowess trigger. We'll just take the draw. Find an Unstable Amulet, that's also pretty good. So it draws us some more cards. It's our budget Expressive Iteration. I've also been working on a Jeskai version of this deck that can play Urza's Saga, especially with the new rules update coming. That sounds really interesting. Our opponent finds a single to Stupors, it's okay. So just play a Canyon, run out our Unstable Amulet. We have a Prowess trigger. Opponent thinking about using a counter spell right here. Let it resolve, I assume. So our opponent get rid of the Unstable Amulet. Opponent uses a Flare of the Nightvolt, so we will draw a card with our Esper Sentinel. I don't mind that, opponent. Let's play the Bauble right now, because we don't need the mana. Make another token, and we do have at least 1 more turn, so I will not cast more right here. Opponent has this Expression Ray, that should just be too slow to really matter. Next turn we most likely have lethal. Let's just draw a card. Find an Ajani, that's also pretty sweet. Especially if we should draw a Goblin Bombardment. Don't probably place the Spring Tapped. Otherwise he's down to 5 life and we have really easy time of killing our opponent. Our opponent just realized their life total. On to game number 2. Sideboarding against Mono U Belcher. We want our Pithing Needles and possibly also our Molten Rains. Not quite sure on those yet. I think we can get rid of our Galvanic Discharge because it only really stops Tameshi loops, and otherwise we do have Portable Hole as a more flexible removal spell against them. Because it can also get rid of potential Lotus. I will also shave an Unstable Amulet and I will only run 3 Mold Brain. That should hopefully be enough. That's too many lands, unfortunately, but we do have Guide of Souls into Ocelot Pride, so it still is not too bad, but it's just too many lands, so let's mulligan. Opponent is keeping their 7. This looks really good. We can get rid of one of our Guide of Souls. We have Pithing Needle to keep them in check and keep them honest. We have Guide of Souls into Ajani. Our hand is pretty good. Opponent does not have a turn 1 suspension. I will run out the Guide of Souls right now in hopes of drawing another land. And if we don't, we can just play the Pithing Needle next turn. If we draw another land, let's just go for Ajani. Opponent plays a tapped Laboratory, so they are keeping their life total solid. I will actually keep a second Ajani, potentially Legend Rule it, and have a red permanent with Steelcutter. That's also a really nice thing about Steelcutter. Usually energy does not really have the ability to properly use it. But this build also not only is built around it to have enough non-creature spells and small stuff to really pump up those tokens, but it's also just another annoying red permanent so Ajani 0 does damage. Something you don't really think about. Protection from red, that's okay for us. Let's just run out our Ajani. The thing right here is that we do have Portable Hole in case there would be anything annoying. Opponent use a Disrupting Shoal. Okay, that's annoying to say the least. And maybe we draw land to play Steelcutter into Portable Hole. Opponent has a Harbinger. Okay, so we are indeed screwed. Do have a Mox, so let's just run it out. And now we're looking for either another artifact to get some colored mana or just a basic. Opponent just passes the turn. That's no basic, so let's just pass it back. Hope our opponent does not have a War of Invention. And there's a War of Invention. Why do I summon the good card from our opponent? Why do I do this to myself? Opponent grabs a Lotus Bloom and now potentially just comes up with Tameshi. I think they still have to find an answer for our Pithing Needle. Opponent attacks us for 3, sure. We just take a hit. And opponent has Tameshi. So we are in a lot of trouble. Like a lot. Even if it's just our opponent drawing 1 card every turn with Tameshi. They might just find an answer for Pithing Needle, which is not unlikely. They do have more Worth Inventions for Portable Hole. They do have Sink into Stupor. Archaeologist digs deeper. Only finds a Razorless Ambush. That's okay. Also, we should keep out this judge. I forgot our opponent is playing Harbinger of the Seas. That's another land that doesn't do anything. Opponent has a Waterlogged Teachings. What do you grab, opponent? Probably just a Worth Invention because he can't find a Portable Hole to answer our Pithing Needle. Opponent grabs a Disrupting Shoal. Okay, so our opponent just wants us to not cast anything. I guess that's fine. Opponent does have a decent clock actually, and we don't draw anything. Let's just go to the next one. Sideboarding and correcting our mistakes. I think Portable Hole might just be worth the discharge, even though it can potentially answer a Mox. One can bounce it. It's also annoying because it reduces our artifact count if we get rid of it. So let's maybe also shave 1 Mox. We do have the Pithing Needles now. Let's just get rid of the Portable Holes and then just run it back like this. So we have another answer for Harbinger. Game number 3 against Mono U Belcher. I do like this. Let's keep. We do have Pithing Needle again, we have Guide of Souls into Ajani, and we do have Mox Opal active with our Mithril Bauble. Opponent also kept that 7 after long and careful consideration. So let's just run out our Guide of Souls and pass the turn. Opponent plays a tapped land. I do like the sound of that. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. So let's run out the Ocelot Pride first to start making more tokens. Nice. I will also play the Pithing Needle. Make our opponent use stuff. Doesn't have anything. Name Goblin Shower Belcher again. Also, I don't quite know why this window is not showing up, but I do name Goblin Shower Belcher. Let's hit our opponent. End of turn, we will make another cap, gain another energy. Pretty sweet. I do like it. Even with normal energy, just having multiple 1-drops is definitely the best thing you can have against Belcher. That for sure does not change with this build. Because this build capitalizes on the 1-drops even more. Opponent grabs another Lotus Bloom. Okay, that's pretty nice. Our opponent has 2 Lotus Bloom coming in 3 turns. That's annoying. Let's play the Sentinel. Even if our opponent has a counter spell for our Johnny, we would still be able to use our guide and also draw a card off of the Sentinel. Opponent does not have anything, so let's just run rampant. We also get the City's Blessing, and our opponent scoops it up. Nice, on to the next match. Match number 2, playing Steelcutter aggro Boros energy shenanigans. This hand looks pretty decent, let's just keep it. We have all the 1-drops we could ask for, and our opponent is mulliganing. Now the only really interesting thing is our sequencing right now. We could run out one of our Ocelots, our guide, or the Sentinel, or just play the Parlor to double spell the turn after. Opponent plays Cavernous Souls on Beasts. That's most likely Amulett, I'd assume? Yeah, seems to be the case, so I think we have to be as aggressive as we can. In which case, I think a turn 1 Ocelot Pride, turn 1 God of Souls, what am I thinking? Turn 1 God of Souls, and then we'll start playing our Ocelot Prides after. Matchup might be a bit rough game 1, but we do have 3 Blood Moon in our board and some Molten Rains that can also come in. But game 1 we don't have any interaction, and if our opponent has a fast draw, I doubt there's a lot we can do. Opponent has a Spelunker and will grab an Amulet next turn that he can also copy. So if our opponent's last card is a bounce land with the Expedition map and a Titan, we are in a world of pain. We have a Mox Opal. I will keep that because we can activate it with our Sentinels. No need to attack right here because our opponent does have the Boreal Razor. Just make some more energy. I would probably just fast forward through our opponent's turn because I have nothing to do. So let's just fast forward from now. Okay, we live for another turn. Our opponent grabbed the Amulet off of the Urza Saga, copied the Amulet with the 1 land, and grabbed the Simic Growth Chamber. So next turn they will be able to go for their dangerous stuff. But we will maybe just get enough life to not bother. We do have double Esper Sentinel, we do have our Mox Opal, and we can play our Ocelot Pride with that. That's pretty impressive. Let's just hope that it actually matters. We will put our counters on the Ocelot Pride to gain some more life. And we also do get City's Blessing with the trigger, so we make 6 cats, gain 6 more lives and 6 more energy. That's pretty nice, but we'll yet once again just have to F6 through our turn and just hope we don't die. Opponent starts off with a bounce land, so I will just fast forward it for you again and we'll see if our opponent has a combo. And our opponent does have the loop. On to sideboarding. I will just cut all of the stones so don't have to sit through it. Sideboarding against Amulett Titan. Galvanic Discharge looks really bad. We do definitely want all of our Blood Moon, and I will also take in all of those Molten Rains. Now the only real question is what else do we cut? I think I will get rid of at least 1 Esper Sentinel, possibly 1 Unstable Amulet, and I think another, maybe 1 Mox because we get rid of so many artifacts. Yeah, let's run it like this. On to game number 2 against Amulett Titan. Let's look at our hand. Unfortunately, that is a no-lander, so we will mulligan. Second hand, yet again, no land. And no way to activate our Mox, so we will have to mulligan once more. That's unfortunate, our opponent keeps at 7. And we will have to run with this. Let's bottom these two. I don't really think we will be able to activate our Mox in a reasonable time. Look at what our opponent is up to. Have a look, opponent withdraws Spelunkings, that's okay. We just play a tap Sacred Foundry, and unfortunately we have no 1-drop in our almost only 1-drop deck. And we also don't have a third land for our Molten Rain, but we are spinning our wheels with Unstable Amulet and Bauble next turn. Just hoping to find something. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. Let's play our Unstable Amulet. And let's see what we have on top of our library. What do we draw? We draw another land, so that's nice. That means we will be able to use one of those next turn. I will look at what opponent draws once more. It's a Gruter, sure. Opponent finds a bounce land, so we know of the Spelunking and the top. What do we draw? It's a Portable Hole. Okay. Fortunately, we won't be able to activate our Under Blood Moon right now. On play Explore instead of playing the Spelunking. And just place a Gruter. So I will go for the Molten Rain right now, because we do get the 2-for-1 in quotation marks. Let's just run this out. Let's get rid of the turf where we can. And that way we also have a bit more time to maybe find a basic plane so our Blood Moon does not lock us out ourselves. There is the Spelunking. The opponent does have a basic forest. We do find a Steelcutter. Opponent only has a Spelunking, so he can't completely combo kill us. I think we have to try to apply at least a bit of pressure, and we don't have any white mana right now to play our Guide of Souls otherwise. So I will do this in order to maybe find something and potentially gain some energy in the future turns. Let's just keep it back, because opponent might just kill it right now. Opponent has 4 mana to their disposal, plays an Explore. With Spelunking up, this is dangerous, but we're lucky that it's only a Spelunking and not an Amulet figure, so we might still be fine. Opponent has a Growth Chamber, possibly picks back up their Boseiju, which would be really annoying. Yeah, so our Blood Moon also does not really do too much. We are in a lot of trouble. What else do you have, opponent? Opponent 3 mana. It's another Spelunking. Let's just hope he puts back down the Boseiju. Opponent declines on putting a land into play and plays an Amulet. So our Blood Moon will at least time warp them, because they do have to use their Boseiju. We also do get to activate our Unstable Amulet, not our Unstable, we also do get to trigger our Steelcutter. Hello Kitty. What did you see right there? Nothing? Oh, sure. Yeah, just take a seat in your bed. And we will just hit our opponent for 6. Realistically speaking, only for 4, because our opponent probably just blocks our monk. We are tapped out, we don't have any more cards in hand. Opponent does not even take the block. Okay. Opponent just plays Lotus Field under the Blood Moon. Oh, we just rammed our opponent. No! We just rammed our opponent. Is that a Pyroclasm? Fire Spout? Pyroclasm? Vampire's Vengeance? Fuel the Flames. Basically the same. Okay, we don't have white mana. We draw an Ocelot Pride. Unfortunately, it does not really do anything, and our opponent will be able to Boseiju away our Blood Moon end of turn. Yep, I do want to grab myself my basic planes, I think. And we do have the Sunbait Cannons to maybe find something instant speed. I don't think we have anything in our library book because we got rid of our discharges. How dead are we on a scale of 1 to 10? Opponent has a Titan. Let's just see if there is anything we can do. Don't even think there is anything in our deck that potentially does anything. We'll find out, Johnny. Maybe we are not dead. Opponent will be able to make more token. Grabbing another Lotus Field and being able to activate the Mirror Pool, maybe? It's a problem with Tisha. I don't think there's out for us. Let's just go to the next game. Guys, I'm so depressed. We just played against Lantern Control and it was the greatest game of all time because of Unstable Amulet being able to just ping our opponent down. Our opponent scooped the entire match after game 1, as you're able to see here. But it did not record. It did not record. So we will have to skip on to match number 4 right now. I really wish I could show you, but I think replays are still not working. We are on the play, the send looks really good. Let's just keep it. We have Ocelot Pride, decent interaction. That's also where I have a stop in my own upkeep right here. Because I had to make sure we can use our Unstable Amulets properly. Oh no! I am so sad. I was also so confused because our opponent just scooped. It just said you win the match and I didn't register our opponent scooping the entire match immediately. Our opponent is another Amulet opponent, okay. So I think I'll just have to answer this Amulet immediately. We'll hit our opponent and next turn we can play our Steelcutter and try to make some more token. But I don't want our opponent to have access to 3 mana right now, because that would enable them to do nasty things. The opponent has another Amulet and they will have 1 more next turn. And another Saga. Now imagine we had Blood Moon main deck. Imagine, everybody. Ooh, we find an Esper Sentinel. That's the spell we can play after the Steelcutter. So let's just keep it. And let's start applying some more pressure. The good thing is our opponent... There's no really good thing. There's no really good thing. Our opponent is in a really powerful position right now. But I guess we get to show off that Ocelot Pride also makes Monk token if we have City's Blessing. That's a nice thing, I guess. Let's make some token. So, if our opponent doesn't have anything, we are in a really convincing position, but our opponent grabs a second Amulet of Vigor, floats mana and has access to 6 mana. So we might just die. Let's forward again. Opponent has his 4th Amulet of Vigor. What is even happening? Our opponent lets us draw a card, but now they have 3 amulets and 1 bounce. Let's just hope our opponent doesn't have it. Let's just hope, but this is crazy. We answered 1 Amulet of Vigor and our opponent just has all more. They only have a Shifting Woodlands, it's no bounce land. I can't believe it. We might still be in it, but they might also just play an Explore or something like this. It's a Spelunking, they are looking for another land. Opponent just grabs a fetch land. So even if they get a tapped land, it's just 3 mana, so they will only go up to 4. We are in it. And I think we might be able to kill our opponent. Let's play the Amulet. Prowess triggers, happening all over the board. Let's see what this Amulet has to offer. It's another Esper Sentinel. I definitely will cast this happily, because we do deal 1 more damage with it. Will attach to our new Monk token. And now let's hit our opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 3 creatures with Prowess. So using a discharge on our own creature right here and just not dealing any damage is exactly lethal. Damn, that's an impressive showing for Ocelot together with Cori Steelcutter. This 1 token really made a big difference. That's our opponent. Our opponent has a Dryad Arbor. They are not dead. They are not dead. Okay, they do have the Dryad Arbor, but they still have to find a land. Opponent goes down to 2. We make even more token. You know they don't have a bounce land. What can they grab off of the Urza Saga? Have we not played the Sentinel but played 2 discharge, would have been 1 damage left there, but 2 more with the Prowess. Opponents grabs the Expedition map. Let's just fast forward and see if we survive. Yeah, we are just dead. I also just realized that had we just moved the blockers, we could have removed our opponent's Triad Arbor and we could have had lethal like that. That's unfortunate, but misplays happen. Let's just scoop it up and move to the next. Sideboarding again against Amulett Titan. Let's once more get rid of these. Bring all of those in. And I will shift one of these for another Molten Rain. And I think I just want to keep it like that so we don't have any problems with mulliganing again. I am a bit scarred from what happened earlier. So let's see if that's enough. Game number 2 against Amulett Titan once again. We have Blood Moon, Basic, Steelcutter and Amulett. Let's keep it and see where it takes us. I will also run out with Esper Sentinel turn 1. Because if our opponent plays an Amulett, we do draw a card. Let's just run it out. We're hoping we draw another land actually, so we can play our Steelcutter and then play our Blood Moon. Otherwise, I will have to play the Paolo here. Opponent is still running Urza Saga post board. That's a rare sight to see. Let's just get rid of this bauble because that's just like drawing a bauble. I mean, it would have been good for Steelcutter. Maybe I should have kept it, but I just want to find immediate action. I should have kept it. What am I thinking? I should have kept it. Like, we'll play our Blood Moon next turn either way. I should have just kept it. Opponent plays Amulett. Does he let us draw a card? He doesn't. Pays the Sentinel tax. And an Echoing Death that copies our Windswept Teeth. Opponent will have access to another fetch land, to another basic. But we do get the Stone Rain on the Urza Saga, which is nice. Yep, opponent grabs another forest. But we get rid of the Saga, which is all that matters for now. Let's hit our opponent with our Mighty Sentinel into as a Boreal Grazer. Opponent saw the line of just blocking. Crazy. Opponent plays Cross Chamber. We are hoping our opponent does not have. We have get rid of it. Let's run out our Steelcutter. And I will also run out the Guide of Swords, so we are able to pump our Esper Sentinel later on. Let's hit for 2. Does our opponent have the Boseiju? Opponent does not have the Boseiju. That's good for us. That's all we want to dodge. Don't really care about anything else right now. Opponent just plays a Crumbling Vestige. Sure, that's a nice looking mountain. I did not know they come in this artwork. So let's play an Unstable Amulett. We have a Browse Trigger. Get some energy, let's see what's on top. It's a Goblin Bombardment. That's a nice one. But I will play Ajani now to get to 3 energy. So we also do make this token. We are going wide. And if our opponent does not have a kill next turn, I think we can just kill them. Let's pump our Esper Sentinel. Do want to draw cards if our opponent has anything. Opponent might also just have a board work, which would also be really annoying. But if our opponent doesn't, we will be able to play the bombardment and shoot our opponent down. Shifting Woodlands appears to be it. Yes, so let's go for the bombardment. And that's game. Nice. Game number 3. Should have already won, but so what? Back onto sideboarding. I will just run it back like this. I really want to maximize our chance of hitting the Blood Moon. Maybe we could get rid of one more Unstable Amulett for another Molten Rain on the draw. Yeah, let's track like this, so we have some more interaction against them. Our opponent keeps their 7, Let's just hope it's not as nasty as the first one, because I do like this hand. Maybe we draw enough artifacts so our Mox Opal will be activated turn 2 so we can play Molten Rain earlier. We find a Blood Moon, that's also really good. Let's play our Ocelot Pride. And we will see where these cats take us. Opponent has yet again one more Amulett figure. Opponent is really good at drawing multiple amulets. Grabs a Hedgemate to both Surveil and make 2 mana. Surveillance can be even better with Amulett figure. So opponent have an Explore to back it up. Basically an Explore with the body. Okay. Opponent has a Vesuva. Probably copies the Hedgemate to Surveil once more. Yep. Our opponent is down to 2 cards in hand. They get rid of a Seal of removal. So if we survive this turn, our Blood Moon looks to be really good again. They don't even have a forest right now. Let's hit our opponent. Our opponent was able to filter through some draws, but them getting rid of stuff like the Mycosynth's Garden makes me think that they really are looking for one specific piece, probably a bounce land again. Opponent plays a Dryad, we are fine with that, and opponent does have a bounce land, so the problem was that they did not have a Titan. And because of timestamps, our Blood Moon will be brutal right here. They expect to have access to all colors of mana, but we do just get rid of it. Opponent plays Poseiju, copies the Hedgemate again to filter the draw once more. Get rid of an Echo Devs. Sure. Opponent is down to 1 card in hand and it is not a Titan. Now opponent would have to draw something really nasty to get rid of everything. Let's run out our Blood Moon. Opponent has a board wipe. That's unfortunate, but we can definitely deal with this because our opponent is down to no cards and we do have Guide of Souls and Unstable Amulet to start rebuilding. Still, we don't have too much time. And also has a Blood Token to filter that draw once more. Pretty sweet upside from this Vampire's Vengeance right here. Opponent seemingly just realized that this Stride does not work. We draw a Ajani, that's really nice. Let's play our Guide of Souls. Let's play the Unstable Amulet. What do we have on top of our library? Maybe another artifact, so our Mox does something. It's just a land, we also do take that. And let's just keep the rest in our hands so we can potentially trigger a Steelcutter in the future. Opponent cycles away a Spelunkin. Opponent basically has to draw a basic forest, a Boseiju, and then a Primeval Titan. Until then, we are fine. Another board wipe would also be really annoying. We play Sunback Canyon. Let's run out Ajani. That also allows us to activate the Guide of Soul, the Unstable Amulet once more. What did you see? Huh? Yeah, go. Let's use our Amulet and see if there is something. It is an artifact, so next turn we will be live. Let's get rid of our opponent's Gruta. And let's pass the turn. Next turn our Mox will be live, so it was pretty sweet. Opponent is down to 3 lands. Opponent has no good attacks anymore. Ooh, we find another sweetie. Let's get rid of 1 more land. And let's attack our opponent with our Cat token. Maybe our opponent does not block with the Grazer. The unfortunate thing right here is our opponent just has good blocks. Like, he can just eat it with the Grazer and we can't attack with the other stuff. Because I activated the Unstable Amulet. Maybe that was stupid, but I will stand behind this decision. Because otherwise we could have started pumping our Guide of Souls right now. Okay, let's pass the turn. Opponent is missing land drops again. Amulett Titan not drawing lands. Bombardment. That's the best draw we could have had. So let's get rid of our opponent's Dryad. So even if our opponent should be fortunate enough to have a board wipe or something, they don't have the land types. And it also makes it so we have more energy, so we can use our unstable amulet again. Draw some more cards. Find another unstable amulet. Nice. Let's start pinging our opponent down. Let's use our amulet. We find a land. Let's just run out this. No, let's not run out this box. Let's just hit our opponent for 1. And it looks like we got our redemption against Amulett Titan. Because now we are even pretty safe after board wipe. We still have Ajani and the bombardment to start clocking our opponent. And if our opponent plays board wipe, we dome them for 3. Ajani just makes more cats, and that's just also more damage. Another land, not what we want, but we take it. Hit our opponent for 4. Tech for, realistically speaking, 2. Yep, opponent blocks. Go down to 8. And we pass the turn. Nice! On to the final one. Remember that we are 3-1 right now. I really regret that this recording didn't really work. Okay, on to the next match. Playing Steelcutter Boros Energy. We are on the play once more. We have Monster Sentinel with a Goblin Bombardment. Nothing too exciting, but it is a keep. And if our opponent is a spell heavy deck, these Esper Sentinels will definitely know our opponent. And they will also make our opponent think that we're playing Hammer Time for now. That's the EV nobody expects, making your opponent think you play a different deck. Opponent has a Bloodstained Mire for Steam Bands and a DRC, so we're playing against Prowess. These Esper Sentinels are looking mighty fine right then, especially with our Mox Opal being able to discharge away this DRC and still having our Surveillance ready. Let's kill you. There wins your teeth, and our opponent probably is really confused right now why we do have a Galvanic Discharge. This Mox Opal and the Windweb Teeth still makes sense. Our opponent could still think that we're playing Hammer Time, but this Galvanic Discharge really makes it weird. Opponent fetches for Basic Mountain, plays a Swift Spear and a DRC. Fortunately, that's no spell that lets us draw a card. Opponent does not even attack with a Swift Spear. We do find an Ocelot Pride, that's nice together with our bombardment. So let's just run everything out, whoop da whoop, and pass it back to our opponent. We don't have any real attacks. We definitely want to keep those Sentinels to make our opponent pay mana for their spells and keep them honest. Or most likely just get rid of this Ocelot Pride, but if he does not get Delirium, we at least get to trade with the Channeler. Opponent just straight up moves to combat and skips their turn. No spells cast. Opponent plots a Slick Shot. That's scary. Luckily enough, we can, in a pinch, just sacrifice our board into it. We don't want to do that, but it might just be what we have to do. Another Ocelot Pride. That's great, because now we get to make more cats. Let's attack our opponent with the Ocelot. And if our opponent blocks, we will go to first strike damage. Opponent does not even block, so we get to make a shit ton of cats. Opponent probably did not think that one through. But otherwise we would have used one of our Sentinels to get the last damage in. But now we make 6 token, otherwise we would have only made 1. So let's start pinging away their threats. And I think that should just be enough creatures on board to make sure that the Flick Shot does not get a hit in. Opponent scoops it up. Nice. On to the next one. Sideboarding against Prowess, a deck that plays red burn spells and utilizes Lava Dart in their graveyard and tries to hit Delirium. What could we play against them? Don't quite know. I don't really think we have any sideboard cards for them. Okay, but honestly speaking, it's really tough to know what we can sideboard out. Let's just shave another Stable Amulet once more. And I actually think that shaving Ocelot Pride, because it dies the easiest against their Lava Darts, might be a good call. And also one Mox Opal Bit, because I don't think we have to be too explosive, because they are just more explosive than we are. Game number 2 against Prowess. We do have to draw land or another artifact to have 2 mana, but we have the Sanctifier and we have an Esper Sentinel to annoy our opponent once more. So I will keep this. Opponent also kept 7. See if they have a creature right now. Opponent just plays a Preordain. So a Sentinel will at least annoy them a little bit. I think 2 Moxen kind of sucks, but so what. Let's draw out our Sentinel. Let's just have the turn. Definitely hoping to get a draw card, so we are more likely to hit another land. If we don't, we do have our Ocelot Pride. We did draw that one, I guess. Especially drawing 2 Moxen after siding one out. It's kind of rough, but so what. Opponent has a Slick Shot again. And we don't draw another land. We might just die. Nobody knows. This deck is really good at killing at turn 3, especially with Slick Shot plotted, and we did not have an answer to it. So we are definitely just crossing our fingers and hoping the best. If we survive this turn and our opponent just deals a lot of damage, I don't hate our chances right now, even though they're still not great. 5 cards in hand, so we could definitely be dead right here. Opponent plays a Prismatic Ending on our Sentinel. And Haze. So I think we are rather likely to still survive, but our Mox just got a lot worse. That's the riskiest trade-off in this deck. Won't also get rid of our Ocelot. Do take a hit for 5. We even do find a bauble. But that's still nothing to activate it. Do we keep the bauble around to maybe draw land to play the Steelcutter and have the bauble active? I think I just have to find a land to make sure I find something. Opponent has a wear tear on top. We're probably just dying this game. We do find a land. It's at least something. Wear tears are really good against us because we have so many artifacts and our Goblin Bombardment is an important, crucial part of our deck. Opponent attacks us with a Slick Shot. Does he fire something else? Opponent has another Lightning Bolt, so we take a lot of damage. 7 damage, maybe also just Wear Tears and Mox away. He does, that's good for us. That's just 2 more damage. That means that our next artifacts will at least survive. And that's a land from our opponent, okay. We are not dead yet, which is really good. So, do we run out Ajani, do we run out Guide of Souls, or even the Sanctifier? I think I will play the Sanctifier. We are still dead to so many things. Even the front side from Lavadar is enough to kill us. Basically have to find another land to play our Guide of Souls into the Ajani to gain some life back. Maybe our opponent does not have a non-creature spell to pump the Slick Shot right now. That's a Swift Speed, we don't care about that. We don't care about that. That's an ending, and suddenly we do care, suddenly we're dead. Okay, on to game number 3. No changes to sideboarding, let's just run it back. Game number 3. We have multiple Guide of Souls and our Sentinel. This definitely is a keep, and I will run out the Sentinel turn 1 to annoy our opponent, even if that means risking a little life gain. And if our opponent uses a removal on the Sentinel, we get draw a card, and our Guide of Souls will survive, so that's the best of both worlds. Also, if we would play a Guide of Souls right now, and then play Guide into Esper Sentinel next turn, it would mean that we already got to buff 1 Guide, but I think just making sure our opponent is annoyed like crazy, getting in their head, is definitely the best play you can make. That's also how I win lots of my games at locals. I just make my opponents mad because of my deck choices. So let's run it out, and I do want to try to draw another untapped land. Opponent draws a Channeler, that's okay. So I will just use the bauble right here. Do we find an untapped land? It's a Portcullis, that's also pretty sweet. It's also pretty sweet. Opponent probably just runs out the Channeler. Yep. I will just get rid of this one. And next turn play double Guide of Souls. We also have a Discharge on top, nice, so I will maybe just play one Guide of Swords and keep the Discharge up. Let's see how it develops. The opponent with the Sentinel. Portable is such a nice card, actually. The shame that energy always plays Static Prison, just because of the energy aspect of the card. And okay, it is also able to get rid of bigger creatures, so actually Static Prison is often more important. We just destroy this, and we destroy our opponent's morale. Next turn, we might just be able to buff our Esper Sentinels. Our opponent would have to play 3 mana, so we don't draw a card. Definitely would hate that to happen. Like, I don't want our opponent to... Oh, opponent plays Preordain, so we get to draw a card right now. And we find a Sanctifier, that's also really good. If we draw a land right now, opponent puts both cards on board, and that's also really tough. Our opponent played the Preordain right here and did not find a land, it seems like. Opponent just scoops it up. Can't blame him. Nice. Let's just recap this deck real quick. It's really nice and aggressive. Oh, a bad idea. I'll recap in the Decktech screen. So, let's see you there. Here we are, back again in the new and improved Deckrecap that I just realized we should just swap to this screen so we can talk about the deck for just a second. So, in our league, we definitely realized Unstable Limit is a hidden sleeper. Unfortunately, it was the game that you didn't get to see, but against the rare and snaring bridge deck Unstable Amulet being able to hit our opponent, even if they have Witchbane Orb up. I really wish we were able to see this one. It's really nice. This incredibly nice big suit of 1-drop is also awesome. I do kind of miss Ragavan. Ragavan might also be another fit for this deck because it also creates treasures, which do enable Mox Opal, but Esper Sentinel might just be an underutilized card in proper energy. This card really looked really promising, being able to buff us with Guide of Souls to make our opponent pay 3 mana or even more to make us draw a card is really impressive, and also on turn 1 it does annoy our opponent quite a bit. Usually they just turn 1 remove our 1-drop, and when playing Esper Sentinel on turn 1 they can't just do that. So this card actually is a quite sleeper pick. Portable Hole is a bit worse than Static Prison because it does not get to hit the big creatures, but it was still pretty nice, especially because it enables our Mox. And Steelcutter, what should I say? Steelcutter is just a cracked card, and the interaction of Steelcutter and Ocelot Pride also was really nice. I'm not quite sure what I would change about this list in the main deck right now. It just looks really tight. Definitely kudos to Spike right there. Great deck building. And in the sideboard, I would definitely have to figure something out because I think that the proper combo decks might still be too tough, and only the 2 runners probably are not enough. These Molten Rains also did not seem too good because against Amulett Titan, I don't really have a way to slot all in. And I think against Eldrazi, this deck's better plan is just to be aggressive enough so that we can get under our opponent and just scoop against multiple board wipes. But those slots could definitely be split a bit more with some combo hate. Otherwise, this deck is really great. I really appreciated playing this deck. I really liked it. And you will definitely see me play something similar to this again, or maybe a really close iteration to this while I'm still working on the Jeskai build that's meant to fit Other Saga in. So I definitely recommend this build, try it out, and see you in the next video.